Watch your tails.
Pesty dogs. Ren came to us because a long time ago, one of the people who were one of the runners from Alamo Endurance Running, that then became Optimistic Running, knew of a family who was getting ready to put a German Shepherd up for adoption because they were moving into an apartment, from a house into an apartment. And if you've ever seen Ren, he's a pretty big dog, and they couldn't take him into an apartment. We went and met him, and little did we know, the day that we met him, we were going to take him home. And they said, you know what, you guys seem like a nice family, you can have him. And so we literally, after our first visit with him, took him home with us. And it was really, really sad because the family had probably 2 or 3 young kids. And one of the little boys had been taken out of the house so he wouldn't see Ren being taken. And he came home just as we were leaving, and he cried at the truck door and hugged Ren and just said, "You're the best dog ever." And he cried, and it just broke our heart. But it was really hard because he was probably about 5 years old, and he just had his arms hooked around Ren's neck. It was really hard. It was really hard. The next dog was Blue. Blue came to us also from a runner who was going to be moving out of their house. They were getting ready to move. They weren't sure what the requirements were going to be for their living situation. Not to mention, Blue was a baby, and she was 100 miles an hour. She chewed on everything. We got her when she was about 8 months old, and it was pretty tough. Definitely a handful. But I have to say, as much as we love her now, she was a really important part of keeping Ren healthy, because India had left to college and Ren was depressed. He was upstairs, he wouldn't come down, he wouldn't eat. He was like a jilted girlfriend. He generally was depressed, and he started licking himself out of stress and anxiety. So his little leg had these bald spots. We had to take him to the vet. He had to get steroid shots. He had to get antibiotics. They had to shave his whole leg. We had to keep it cleaned, and it was quite the undertaking. But they told us it was stress because his pack leader had left. So they said, it'll be a good idea to get a dog to keep him occupied, somebody to play with, somebody to interact with. And so we got Blue. It was just perfect timing. The person who was going to give Blue up was looking for a home for Blue, and we were looking for a new dog, so it was meant to be that Blue came to us. And she was a baby, and she wanted to play, and she would bother Ren even though he didn't want to be bothered, and she was just always in his face, always in his face. He didn't have time to be upset or depressed, so she really helped him come out of his depression, and Blue taught him how to play, and so she kind of saved him. Venus came to us because her owner also couldn't keep the dog. She was in Honduras with Daddy, and so while she was in Honduras, her mom was watching the dog, and when it was time for her to come back, she was going to go from Honduras home for just maybe a week, and then follow on to another assignment where she was going to go to school. And her mom said, "I'm not keeping this dog anymore." She started saying to people, "Oh, my poor dog, I need a home." And she's had the dog ever since the dog was a baby. So Venus is 5 years old when we got her, and Daddy called and said, "What do you think about a Husky?" And I was like, "Oh, are you kidding? No more dogs." And then he said, "She doesn't have a home, and she's a good dog." And it was between having Venus, a 5-year-old dog, or Daddy wanting a baby German Shepherd. She's a good dog, and I think she's slowly integrating into the family. So it took her a while because she's stubborn and she wants to be in charge, and she's not in charge. So we're slowly bringing her around. So she's doing better, and I think I officially let her into my heart. So I love her now. She's part of our family.
Here we go, Rennie. Here you go, Venus. Here you go, Rennie. Here you go, Venus. Good girl. Here you go, Blueberry.
My dragons are always hungry. And I don't mean just doggy dragons.
That's it. We're all done. That's it. Feeding frenzy is over. Feeding frenzy is over.